The United Nations says it has permission from the Syrian regime to send an additional 20 people to Aleppo to help monitor the evacuation of civilians. It comes as more people have been transported out on Tuesday, with 10 more buses taking people to a western suburb of Aleppo. The Turkish Foreign Minister says more than 37,000 people have now been evacuated from Aleppo since Thursday. Aid organisations have set up an emergency camp to provide food, clothing and medical help. Well, Abubakr al-Shamahi joins us now from Gaziantep in Turkey, near the border with Syria. Abubakr, how are the evacuations coming along then?
Well, they seem to be going pretty well so far, considering the problems that didn't happen earlier in the evacuation process. So on Friday, when one of the convoys was attacked, and on Sunday, when those buses were burnt in Foua and Kafraya. So far, we've got conflicting numbers in terms of how many people have been able to leave rebel-held districts of eastern Aleppo. So as you've mentioned, the Turkish Foreign Minister is talking about 37,000 people. The ICRC are talking about 25,000 people. This is now quite a lot of people, and there's still some people left, but it's believed that at least over half of those people in those rebel-held districts have been able to leave on the convoys. And as they're leaving, they're going through, it's only a 12-kilometre area. That's the distance they're really travelling to get back into the rebel-held districts or rebel-held territory in the countryside, in those suburbs of western Aleppo. But they have to pass through 3 checkpoints, one of which is the Syrian regime, the other one is a Russian checkpoint, and then the third one is one controlled by Iranian and Iraqi Shia militias. As for Foua and Kafraya, which is 2 villages that are in Idlib province, the pro-regime villages besieged by rebel forces, the evacuations are also continuing there. So now we've had a second group who've arrived into regime territory, according to Syrian state television. And then you've got the third area that's included as part of this deal. So Madaya and Zabadani, the 2 pro-opposition towns on the border with Lebanon. Evacuations haven't started there yet. That's a third stage of this whole wider deal. But according to reports, the Lebanese Shia militia Hezbollah has requested a list of the people who will be travelling out, who will be evacuated out of there. They've requested a list to be delivered to them.
We've got this meeting in Moscow taking place on Tuesday. The Russian, Turkish and Iranian foreign ministers are meeting there in the Russian capital. What specifics are they likely to discuss?
Well, from what the Turkish Foreign Ministry has said, this is basically about sitting around one table. Obviously, the different countries here are representing different sides in the conflict. Turkey is pro-opposition, Russians and Iranians are pro-regime. So the idea is to listen to each other. That's from the Foreign Ministry's own words, but they've also told us not to expect any miracles. They're not going to come up with a solution to this conflict or anything near it, but the idea is to at least start on a process where they can eventually figure out perhaps peace talks down the road and some sort of end game to the war.
Okay, Abubakr, thank you.